Hey guys, welcome to another Gauging Gadgets Garmin Vivoactive 3 music review video. In this video I'm going to be doing a full overview of the Vivoactive 3 music. This includes going through all of the different watch faces, the widgets, the activities, going through every single menu and setting available on this watch. I'll also show you what the outside looks like, as well as a comparison with the Garmin Instinct and the Garmin Forerunner 230. So hopefully this video is able to answer all of your questions about the Garmin Vivoactive 3 music and also give you a good idea of what to expect if you get it. One thing I want to point out, at the time of filming this video, the Garmin Vivoactive 3 music is available on Amazon for $264, so check the link in the description to find that price. I'll also have a link on Amazon for the refurbished version, which is even cheaper. So check those out if you feel like it. One more thing I want to note is I have also created about 20 different tutorial videos on this watch, different way to do things such as sync it up with Spotify, calibrate the compass, or even configure watch faces and text message responses, things like that. So check those out. I'll have a link in the description for that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to look at is just the outside of the watch. As you can see, the watch band is a very smooth rubber. It does have a texture on the top. The watch band can be easily removed and replaced by just pulling this back. I have a video on how to do that as well, but it's very easy to do and it's a standard size, so you could easily find one on Amazon. Garmin has started to standardize the charging port, so you'll be able to use the same cord that's used for the Fenix 5 or the Garmin Instinct. They use the same port, so it makes it really easy to buy online. They're only about $10 if you lose the cable. The heart rate sensor right here does not stick out too far, and I haven't had any issues with it putting a dimple in my skin or any pain from it, so that's a big plus, because with other Garmin watches in the past, they've been bigger and they've definitely caused some pain. Now the watch only has one button on the right side, this little silver button, so it's mostly going to be touch screen, and as you can see the entire face is going to be glass, including the bezel right here, which doesn't really do anything other than if you had it on an analog watch face it would kind of help you see what time it is. The actual glass display here does seem to be pretty strong. There's no scratches at all, and I've been using this since about the time the watch came out, so really impressed with how well it's kept up and nothing's broken on it at all. Alright, let's do a quick comparison with the Garmin Forerunner 230. As you can see, the watch face overall is bigger on the Garmin 230. The thickness, however, is about the same. The watch band on the 230 is actually larger, so it can fit a wide variety of wrist sizes and things like that. But really, they're kind of similar. In my opinion, the Vivoactive 3 music looks a lot better than the Garmin Forerunner 230. Now let's look at a comparison with the Garmin Instinct and the Vivoactive 3 music. As you can see, very different looking watches. The Vivoactive 3 is much thinner, you're not going to get it caught on many things, and both the Garmin Instinct and the Forerunner 230 are going to be only buttons, no touchscreen available on those watches. So it's really your preference right there. In my opinion, the Vivoactive 3 music is a really good watch for just about anybody, including people with smaller wrists, because the watch face is a little bit smaller, so it's not going to look huge on your wrist if you have smaller wrists. And you also don't have those buttons on the side, which can be accidentally pressed as well. So now that we've looked at the outside of the Vivoactive 3 music and compared it to a couple different Garmin watches, let's go ahead and dig into the settings here. As you can see, I do have a custom watch face on this. It's very easy to install, and I have a tutorial on how to do it. It's really just using the Garmin Connect IQ app, which is what you use to sync your watch to your phone. So no special apps downloaded or anything third party. While this watch face was downloaded, there are many watch faces available that are pre-installed on the watch. All we need to do is do a long press on the watch face, go to watch face, and then we can see in here all the available watch faces. So they have some that are analog, and then they have digital as well. And I'll just go through and show you what is pre-installed on the watch. And all of these are completely customizable, including colors and also the data sets that are available on the watch face. So I can just select in, and then I can either apply it or I can customize it. So as you can see, I can select these two data available areas, and I can change it to calories burned. And then I can select this bottom one, and then as you can see in here, these are the different available data sets that can be put in that area. So pretty cool. You have a wide variety of options there. You can really customize these to show exactly what you want. Once you're done, you just swipe right, and then we can change the accent color. So I'll go to a yellow just so it's very different. Then we just select the center, and as you can see, my watch face has been customized, and now it's actually my watch face. Some of the cool things they do have on some of the watch faces is, so if you look at the perimeter of the watch, it's actually counting down the seconds left in the minute. So very cool there. I really like how they've done the watch faces here. You can customize them, you can change the colors, you can change what data is there, and they do have the sunset sunrise by default, which I love. So now let's get into the widgets here, and we get to the widgets by just swiping up or down from the watch face. So I can just swipe down real quick, and as you can see, see this is a music widget. So what a widget is going to be a screen that's available. You don't have to go into it through the settings or anything, where you can do things. So they have weather widgets, they have step widgets to show you how your steps are doing, and then they also have a music widget. This is actually Spotify right here. So as you can see, I was at the beach yesterday. We were listening to beach music. Spotify is a pretty new thing that they've added to the Garmin Vivoactive 3 music, and in my opinion, it works great. As long as you have Wi-Fi connected, I'll show you how to do that later. But as you can see, I can swipe into the music library right here, and we can see all of my library. So basically, you can download Spotify playlists and also podcast to your Garmin Vivoactive 3 and then listen to them via Bluetooth headphones that you can connect to the watch. It's really cool. You don't need your phone with you or anything. It's really convenient. So as you can see, I have tons of music on here, probably about 500 songs, which is the max. And then I also have a podcast. It gives you the option to add more music and podcasts, and then you can also update your downloads. So say that you're adding music to a playlist, that'll ensure that it only downloads the new songs or remove songs that have been removed from that playlist. It's really cool. You also have the ability to change the volume on the music, turn on repeat, and then put it in a shuffle mode. One negative experience I've had with the Bluetooth on this watch when I'm playing music is if you have it hooked to a Bluetooth speaker, because I tried to do that at the beach a couple times, the range on this watch is only about maybe 5 or 6 feet. It's really just meant for headphones while you're running. So if you walk away at all from your speaker, it's just not going to work for you at all. Using the music widget, you can also configure it so that it controls the audio on your phone, which is really cool. All right, so we'll move on. This is the heart rate widget. As you can see, it shows the last 4 hours. It also changes the color on there depending on the heart rate zone. And we can select into it, see the average heart rate for the last week, which is pretty cool. So you can kind of get a history there. Verb, so you could actually control a camera, which is made by Garmin, from the watch. Then we have the Vera lights. This is a bicycle light that is made by Garmin. You can control that with your Garmin Vivoactive 3 music. You can see some saved activity data, including golf. I have every single widget enabled right now, so you're seeing everything. Swim, biking, it just goes through all the activities. This is calories burned during the day, which is pretty cool. You can see all that information. You can also select in and see the past. Then we have a calendar, so you can see events. You can select into them and read more information about them. This is a stress widget, so it tells you your current stress. You can also select into it to see more information about it, which is pretty cool. I haven't really found a lot of use for the stress widget, but some people might, I don't know. We have stairs climbed. Haven't really had any opportunity to climb any stairs because I don't have any stairs, but you can see a history there as well. It also tracks going downstairs. And then we have the weather right here, which is really cool. You can select into it and see a forecast for the next couple hours, as well as the next couple days. So it's always nice to be able to have that. Garmin also has something called intensity minutes, so they will track those on a weekly basis. You make sure you're getting all your workouts in and that you're meeting your weekly goals with that. You can configure that on the side. And then also show you a history there. We have our step counter. This shows the steps, and it changes the color if you've met your goal as well. Really nice that they have that. And then they have kind of a summary of activities, calories burned, intensity minutes for every day, including steps, and you can click into that to see more information. It's really nice to be able to have that because you can quickly see how you're doing for your day. After that, we have notifications, and the notifications are actually very powerful on this watch. So you can select into this. This is a text message from my wife. As you can see, she was seeing if I was filming. I can reply by just selecting reply, and you can configure all of these reply messages to be customized on your phone. It's really cool. So I can select yes, but they have tons of different messages pre-configured that you can scroll through, and I can select any of those. But I'll go ahead and send her yes just so she knows that I'm actually filming. So you can select in, you can read what the messages say, and then you can also reply to them. And really cool that they have that. And that's all the widgets that come pre-installed on the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music. There are tons of other ones that are available in the Connect IQ store, so I recommend looking into that if you're interested. Now let's go into the activities. We get to the activities by short pressing the actual button on the right side. So we'll do that. And then it will show you all of your favorite activities here. That includes navigate. So it does have a simple navigation feature. So let me go through and show you what activities are available. I can see more activities by scrolling all the way to the bottom and selecting this little button at the bottom. So we can see all of the activities right here. There are tons of them. And then there's even more here. So if I select one of these activities, we'll select run. It'll bring you here where it, kind of lets you know that you're connected to your phone and that it's finding the GPS. So you can start it, you can stop it, and then it'll give you the option to save it or delete it. I'm going to delete that. But one thing I do want to point out, so if you want to do any high intensity workouts or some interval training, stuff like that, some of the pre-configured activities have different workouts available inside of them. So as you can see, we could do mixed intervals. You can do quarter-mile repeat, run, walk. It's pretty cool. They come with tons of different stuff in there. So the watch is even great for beginners because they come with a lot of the workouts already configured. Going into the settings for the activities here, you can change the data screens, laps. You can customize the activities so that they work better for your needs, including data screens. So you can change the screens that are going to be shown on the watch while you're working out. And this includes a ton of information, including heart rate zone, your distance, all kinds of stuff. There's tons of information in here. I actually used this when I was hiking in Yosemite to constantly see my elevation and how fast we were going, and then also the distance traveled. It's just really cool to be able to see all that information. You can also set up alerts, which is really cool. So you can see all kinds of information such as your heart rate. It'll alert you if you hit a certain threshold, either up or down. You can also have it for your pace, time, distance, all kinds of stuff. You can set in alerts where the watch will actually alert you if you're hitting those different thresholds. Really cool. You could set laps so that you can have it be a mile, quarter mile, and then you can also do auto pause, which is great because I've been on running trails before where I see a friend and I would stop. Well, you can have it so it automatically stops the activity and pauses it if you stop running for any reason. You can have auto scroll, so it'll just, like a treadmill kind of in a gym, it'll show you activities, it'll show you information about your activity while you're running. You can configure the GPS, the colors, all kinds of stuff. So now that we've gone through running, really all of the different activities are going to be similar. They're going to have different customizable things about them. And navigate here is probably going to be one of the most unique activities, so we can select that. And first, we can save our location. So that's how you're actually going to be navigating areas. You have to be somewhere first to navigate there. So we can save our location. That's where it will find your current location, give it to you in GPS coordinates, and then you save it to the watch. And then you can go to save locations here, and we can actually navigate to them. So I'll go ahead and do one of the default ones, which is the Garmin headquarters in America. And then you just select go to, start the activity using the button on the right side. And then as you can see, it's telling me, it's pointing the arrow in the direction I need to go, and then also telling me the distance remaining. You can swipe up and down to see different information about the navigation activity. It's really cool. Unlike the Garmin Instinct here, it doesn't show you a map or anything like that, but it is a very simple navigation that could be useful if you really needed it. So those are the available activities on the watch. Now I want to show you something called the control menu. So this is a way that you can quickly get to things on your Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music. All you need to do to access the control menu is hold down the button right here on the right side. And as you can see, it shows us our battery percentage. And then we have these icons that are around this perimeter of the watch face. And what these do is these will quickly do an action for you. So as you can see, I have the power button, and I also have a flashlight where it just kind of turns up the brightness on the watch and makes it white. The flashlight's actually pretty useful in very dark conditions. It's enough to see your way in the dark. I love that I have that. The control menu is actually very customizable. We'll just hold down on one of the areas, and as you can see, it's going to let me remove it by throwing it away, and then I can add a new one. So I'll show you all of the available control menu items right here. So do not disturb, which is just where the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music will not show notifications. You can configure that to automatically be set during a specific time period. I have it for when I'm sleeping at night. Music controls, verb controls, sync, so you can have it manually sync with your phone. Phone settings, alarm, timer. I do like having that so you can quickly get to a timer. Change the brightness, payments, that would be Garmin Pay. And then you also have things such as set the time by the GPS, which is really great. So if you're changing time zones, you might need to do that. And then lastly, you have a feature right here called Find Your Phone. So when you hit that, it's going to show you how far away you are from your phone. It's going to make your phone vibrate and sometimes make a noise, and then it's also going to make the light flash on it. So it's really cool because I lose my phone sometimes. I'll have my watch always with me on my wrist, so I can quickly see how close I'm getting to my phone by this little proximity meter, and then I find my phone pretty quickly. All you need to do is swipe out of it and it'll turn everything off on the phone as well. Very cool there. Alright, so now let's go into the menus and settings on the watch. We get to those by just doing a long press on the face and then scrolling down. As you can see, they have a quick menu to get to all the clocks, which is going to be the stopwatch, the timer, alarms, and then we can also set the time here and change the format of it and set the time with the GPS. After that, we have history. This is going to show you your activities and totals. So you can see all of your activities that have been performed on this watch. Also the totals for the different activities that you've done, which is really cool to be able to see that so quickly. After that, we have my stats, and this is going to show you different stats that are available, including the resting heart rate, VO2 max. Under that, we have the settings, and this is where you can configure the watch to work for you. We have the activities and apps, so this is where you can decide which ones are going to be in your favorites and which ones aren't. So you can see all the activities available on the watch here, and you can configure them. We have the widgets. This is where you can change the order of the widgets and also remove and add them. Control menu, we've gone through that. Watch faces, there's nothing new there that we haven't gone through. Sensors and accessories, so this is where you can configure the heart rate sensor. You can turn it on or off. You can also turn on abnormal heart rate alert. So this will be if your heart rate is abnormal, it'll actually alert you to that, which is really cool. Broadcast inactivity, that's where it'll broadcast your heart rate live to the Garmin app online. I've never actually done that because it uses a lot of battery life, but you have the ability there. After that, we have the compass, so you can calibrate your compass. I have a tutorial on how to do that. It's actually pretty easy. And then you can add new sensors and accessories. This is where you would add headphones, or you can add an external heart rate, different things like that. Really cool stuff. You can add all kinds of things to this watch. After sensors and accessories, we have music. So this is where you can configure your music provider. I currently have it on Spotify. You can have music actually installed on the watch, like the MP3 files, and then you can control the music on your phone. This also controls anything that does audio on your phone. So if you have a podcast app, you could pause and play YouTube videos. It'll control all of the audio on your phone. And then you can add Bluetooth headphones. It's really easy to do. You just put your headphones in pairing mode, and then they'll come up on the list here, and then you just select them. Under music, we have connectivity, and this is where you're going to be able to configure the connectivity with your phone. You can turn off the Bluetooth on the watch, also turn off notifications. Connected alerts, that's where it's going to alert you on your watch if you lost Bluetooth connection with your phone. I find it to be really annoying, so I don't have that turned on. And then you can pair with your phone. This is if you don't have your phone already connected. Under that, we have Wi-Fi, so you can have it so it will automatically upload stats and sync with Garmin via Wi-Fi. And it's really easy to do. I recommend doing this if you're going to be using any of the music apps such as Spotify. A lot of people complain about the Spotify songs not downloading. It's probably because they're not hooked to a Wi-Fi network. After Wi-Fi, we have sync, so this is where you would just manually sync your phone with the watch. I don't find that I generally have to do that too often. All right, so after connectivity, we can go into user profile. This is where you configure information about yourself so that it can find heart rate zones for you and pre-configure your stride, everything like that. We have activity tracking, so this is where you would configure the activity tracking. You can turn on and off the activity tracking. You could set up move alerts. This is where every 60 minutes it's going, if you haven't been moving enough, I think it's about probably 200 steps an hour, it'll vibrate the watch and then show you on the screen move with an exclamation point so that you have to get up and clear your move bar. It's pretty cool. You could also set up goal alerts, which will let you know if you've actually met your goal for the day. It shows a little GIF on the screen that looks really cool. I like having that because then I feel good about my activity for the day. Right here with the auto activity start, say it senses that you've been walking for 10 minutes or running for a couple minutes. It'll automatically record that as an activity so then you can see it later. Intensity minutes, this is where you can configure what determines an actual intensity minute. So in the settings after the activity tracking, we have system, and this is where you're going to get into the system settings. So we have auto lock. This is where the watch face will lock. This is useful if you find that the touch screen on the watch face is getting pressed randomly for no reason. You can have it automatically lock the watch face so that that can't happen. You can configure the language on the watch. They have tons of different languages on here. You could change the time. We've already gone into that. Change the date and the date format. The true up right here is basically if you have a different Garmin watch, you can have it so that all of the activity information will automatically sync up with your new watch. Backlight settings, this is very important. You can turn on and off the backlight. You can also have gestures, so that's where if you turn the watch face up towards you, it automatically turns it on. And then the timeout, which I have on very long just for this filming, but you can make it short, and this will really really affect your battery life. If you want to get those full 5-6 days, you got to make sure that it's on short, and then I recommend having the brightness on about 20%. I have it on 100% now just for filming, but 20% you can read it outside, it's easy enough to read, and it's still pretty bright at night. Vibration settings, I love that they have this. You can actually turn on and off the vibration, and then you could change it from a low, medium, and high. I recommend having it on a medium. If you have it on high and you're in a lot of meetings at work, people will be able to hear it. So if you have it on low, you might actually miss some of the notifications. For to me, medium is perfect. I can feel the vibration and no one around me can actually hear it. Do not disturb, this is where you can turn that on and off manually. We can change the units on the watch from miles to kilometers, feet, different things like that. The data recording, I have it on smart, but you can also move it to every second. I think the smart probably conserves some battery life. USB mode, you can configure what happens if you plug this into your phone. Reset, so if you're having issues with your Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music, you can do a reset here. You can just reset the settings so that you leave all the data and activities on the watch, or you can do a full factory reset right here. It's very simple, and I have a tutorial how to do that as well. Software update, you can check for a software update, and then you can have it download. It usually does that automatically when you sync your watch, but if you want to do it manually, you can do it right here. And then about, which is where we can see information about the watch, including the current version number. And that's going to be everything in the settings and all the menus on the watch. So that was a full walkthrough and overview of the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music. Hopefully that answered most of your questions and gave you a good idea about this watch. I do recommend the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music. I've used it for a really long time. It's a great watch. It syncs great with my phone. I don't have many connection issues. The software is very stable. And to me, it does an accurate job of tracking my heart rate and also tracking my steps and activities. It's a very comfortable watch, and you can customize it through the watch faces and the colors, or even with watch bands. You can really make it fit your personality and your needs. As you can see, it looks really good when you wear it on your wrist. It doesn't stick up too far, and I think the watch face isn't too big where on people with smaller wrists it's going to look ridiculous or actually cause any pain. It's a really light watch, so if you have wrist issues or anything like that, you're not going to have any pain from it either. If you have any questions about the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to see some of the tutorial videos I've created about the Garmin Vivoactive 3, check the description. I'll have a link there. I'll also have a link to where you can buy this on Amazon as well as the refurbished version. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel, Gauging Gadgets, more gadget reviews and tech tutorials. Thank you so much for watching.